Hey everyone, I'm Asaf, an archaeologist, and here I am again at my parents' place. And I want to ask you guys, seeing this photo, could you tell that I'm an Israeli? What culture do I belong to? Well, I guess that the Shoresh sandals are quite ending me out here, but at the same time I wear Levi's jeans, pretty American. We're sitting on a rug with Asian somewhat pattern. If you dive deeper, you might see the Belgian door profile. On the wall, there's a painting, Whispers, early 20th century Europe. Well, I guess that this mix of Israeli, American, Asian, European mix is me in terms of material culture. And I'm not unique here because every single person in this room could look at their surroundings and break them down into different cultural components, as this is our time. We live in a multicultural world, right? Was it always like that? I guess the answer would be no. Because if I were a Jewish guy in Jerusalem, in Roman Jerusalem 2,000 years ago, the answer would be actually very much the opposite. The way I would plan my home, for example, would be super specific according to my culture, also the way I will decorate it. And I'll cook my food in a super specific type of cooking pots and then dine in a specific type of tableware. My language would be part of my culture, probably Aramaic, and then also my writing system. Even my spiritual belief would be part of my culture. Yes, there was a line connecting between my cooking pot and my religion, because in the past, being part of a culture was super committing. And this is what we archaeologists love to do. We like to define those cultural frames of past societies according to the material we find. And yeah, but then we also, all of us know that cultures change. Let's see that coin here of a Hasmonean king named Hyrcanus uses the Old Hebrew alphabet. Fast forward 100 years, and then there's another Hasmonean king named Antigonus, this time using the Greek alphabet. What happened in here? Cultural transition, right? They changed language. And this is what fascinates me about archaeology. How do we move from one deeply committing culture to another one? What's in between? What is the cascade of small, sometimes seemingly insignificant events that accumulate into the new version of material culture? And say that I want to study the Jewish society of Hellenistic and Roman time, if I want to study it according to the material culture, I should pick a place where I have a lot of people living for a long time, so there's enough changes accumulated, and then I can examine it. And actually thinking about such place is the easy part. Jerusalem would be just perfect, being the focal point of Jewish society at the time. But where in Jerusalem? Maybe the Herodian Temple Mount, heart of Jewish belief? Actually, it's not good enough as simply as it not changing that much. All the measurements are already set in the Bible, and besides, it does not represent daily life as people didn't live in the temple. Instead, I chose to focus on the upper city. It's a neighborhood in Jerusalem that was settled during the Hasmonean time, late Hellenistic if you want, 2nd century BCE. And in less than 200 years, it became from the agricultural hinterland of Jerusalem to one of the most opulent, luxurious residential areas in the Levant. And 200 years in archaeology, it's not that much. It reminds me of Dubai 40 years ago and today. Think of it. First we have fields, and then 50 years, boom, houses, markets. Another 100 years, and we have streets, bridges, palaces. Another 80 years, and we have a civil war and complete destruction. In many ways, those people living there shaped our life till today. But how do I study those social transitions? Some might do it through pottery or through other small finds such as the coins, as we just saw. And today I want to talk about my way of studying those transitions, which is by architectural plans. Let's have a look on an architectural plan of our own time, an apartment. It tells us a lot about the people living there. For example, I would assume that they love to cook because their kitchen does not scream ordering Volt every other evening, does it? Or maybe I'd suggest that they work from home, at least occasionally, as they have a workroom. But an architectural plan can tell us more than just, details about private lifestyles. It can give us clues about cultural context. Say they have toilet indoors, which is pretty normal for us, I hope, because indoors toilets are quite the standard since the beginning of the 20th century. Seeing this architectural plan, I can safely date it to the 20th century or sometime later. And then if I line up multiple architectural plans, it becomes like playing spot the difference, because I can compare them and then reveal what will be the private preferences of people living there, or the cultural trends that are shared, everyone shared them even without knowing it, such as toilet indoors, or having island in my kitchen, or just placing my desk in front of a window. And then when I align them chronologically, I can see the social transition as it echoed by the architecture. So in my research, if I want to study Jewish society, Hellenistic Roman time, Jerusalem, I should pick many architectural plans of archaeological excavation and then compare them in order to reveal those differences that represent personal choices and cultural trends. Yes, that's very nice. And then if I try to put them together, I have a problem, because here is an architectural plan of an excavation held in recent years, and it's all GPS measured, tons of scientific analysis available at one click, very nice and easy to work with. And then when I try to compare it to a plan from an excavation held in the 70s, simple pencil drawing, no GPS, no science, no one clicks, they don't talk to each other. And then if I go even farther back to the 19th century, it's a very beautiful map, but yeah, things getting worse because it does not meet any modern standard of archaeology. So the first step that I need to do is to put all those different kinds of maps onto the same platform, and then I can start compare and reveal the differences, the things that are shared. And I know that we're all smart people. Some of you might say, just go and create a new map. And here's the catch, because archaeology actually essentially ruins the site while excavating it. I cannot go and dig the same site twice. Hence, I have to rely on what past archaeologists left me. But even if we cannot create new maps, we can extract some more data from what we already have. Meaning, today I'm constructing a geographical database of all the archaeological work held in the Upper City over 100 years. Sometimes I even go back to the Jewish Quarter and remeasure what I can in order to create refined versions of the old maps. And then once I have all the data under one platform, I can start ask questions. And wide-angle questions, and also get some intricate answers, because it merges all the data from the previous 100 years. And actually, geographical database sounds like a big, somewhat even technical term, but we all use it. We just call it Google Maps, because when we have a crave for a pizza, we just click one word, pizza, and instantly get our next munch. Or if we need to calculate the route to the Council of a Beautiful Israel on a busy Monday morning, it helps us, or just taking a stroll down the street where we grew up in Ra'anana. So that's the potential of geographical DB database. And going back to my project, we can ask questions that will portray the architectural change over time. And I remind you that architectural change, meaning changes in society. What's the earliest wall constructed on the hill? What's the latest one, right before the Romans destroyed the city? Where the settlement started, we don't really know. At the top of the hill, or did it crawl upwards from the city of David? All these questions are waiting to be explored and portray an intimate new perspective on a place in Jerusalem. And Jerusalem is one of the most excavated places on earth. And yet, there's some angles we didn't see yet. And then we'll might have a chance to better understand the social processes that took place during those formative times. And it pays off because it helps us to better understand ourselves. Did you think, when did you think last time, what's your cultural commitment and what you're going to do about it? Thank you.